The abandoned Willowbrook Asylum had always been a local legend. Kids dared each other to sneak inside, and teenagers told stories of ghostly whispers and shadowy figures. But for Sarah and her friends, Mark, Emily, and Jake, it was more than just a dare. It was a chance to prove the stories wrong. Armed with flashlights, a camera, and a sense of bravado, they broke in one Friday night, laughing nervously as they stepped into the decaying building. The air was thick with dust and the smell of mildew. The walls were covered in peeling paint, and the floor creaked with every step. "This place is a death trap," Mark muttered, shining his flashlight down a dark hallway. Sarah rolled her eyes. "Relax, it's just an old building. Nothing's going to—" She stopped mid-sentence. A faint whisper echoed through the hallway, too soft to make out the words. The group froze. "Did you hear that?" Emily asked, her voice trembling. They all nodded, their laughter replaced by uneasy silence. The whispers grew louder, more distinct, as if someone or something was trying to speak to them. "Let's get out of here," Mark said, but Sarah insisted they keep going. "We came this far. Let's see what's down there." They found a room filled with old patient records, the pages yellowed and brittle. As Sarah flipped through them, she froze. The names on the files were familiar, their names. "This has to be a joke," Mark said, but his voice wavered. The whispers returned louder this time, and the temperature in the room dropped. Emily screamed as a shadow darted across the doorway, its form flickering like smoke. Panicked, they ran, but the hallways seemed to shift and twist, leading them in circles. The whispers turned into laughter, low and guttural, echoing through the building. "We need to get out of here," Emily shouted, but the exit was nowhere to be found. That's when they found the photograph, a group of patients from the 1970s, their faces eerily similar to Sarah and her friends. The realization hit them like a punch to the gut. They weren't just investigating the asylum, they were reliving it. The whispers grew deafening, and the shadows closed in around them. Sarah tried to scream, but no sound came out. The last thing she saw was the Shadow Man, his glowing red eyes piercing through the darkness. The next morning, the police found the asylum empty, except for a single camera lying on the floor. The footage showed Sarah and her friends wandering the halls, their faces pale and terrified. But in the background, barely visible, was the Shadow Man, watching them with a cruel smile. The asylum was demolished soon after, but the legend lives on. Locals say if you visit the site at night, you can still hear the whispers, and if you listen closely, you might hear your own name.